Did you know that when you cast your vote to elect a president of the United States, you're not actually voting for that president? That's right. Do yourself, me, and your country a favor and look up information on the Electoral College. Hell, I'll save you the trouble because the opening lines on the Wikipedia article say it all. The United States Electoral College is the institution that officially elects the President and Vice President of the United States every 4 years. The President and Vice President are not elected directly by the voters. Instead, they are elected by electors who are chosen by popular vote on a state-by-state basis. So let me give you a brief summary of how this works. When it comes time for a presidential election, there are a certain number of people in each state that are pledged to the Democratic runner and a certain number of people that are pledged to the Republican runner. When you cast your vote, you're not voting on which person gets to be president. You're voting on which political party gets to decide who's president. Let that sink in for a second. It gets better. The number of electors in each state is equal to the number of members of Congress to which the state is entitled. So let me put this into perspective for you. Texas is a red state with 36 members of Congress. Arizona is a red state with 9 members of Congress. Georgia is red, they have 14. Tennessee is also red with 9. North Carolina, also red, with 13. This nonsensical illusion of a democracy for the people that we have in place here is the very reason why George Bush was elected president back in 2001. And I don't mean that as a stab at his presidency, but dig this. Of the actual individual votes cast by American citizens during that election, Al Gore, the Democrat running against Bush at the time, received, wait for it, 543,895 more votes than Bush. Wait, what? Even though the American people had spoken and said that they were very much in favor of a Democratic president, a bunch of politicians got together and cast their votes, and Bush won with 271 electoral votes to Al Gore's 266. This is so mind-blowingly nonsensical to me. What is the point of us casting our votes if it doesn't mean a damn thing? All we're doing is voting on who gets to decide who's president. If you still don't see the problem inherent with this, let me give you a little example. Let's say the states with the fewest congressmen are voted Democrat and the states with the most congressmen are voted Republican. Even if the overwhelming majority of people vote Democrat, that means precisely dick, since the number of states with an obvious numerical advantage in terms of congressmen will have been voted Republican. So that phrase, power by the people, is rendered absolutely meaningless. Now, the power isn't with the people, it's with the politicians. And during election time, politicians don't give a shit about anyone or anything except getting their party elected. So even if a Democratic candidate campaigned on a platform most likable to the American people, our choice in leadership would boil down to a bunch of bureaucratic politicians who aren't interested in what's best for the American people. They're only interested in getting their party into the White House. And so a Republican president would be elected. How fucked up is that? So how can we fix this? Well, here's my suggestion. If we're going to reduce the power of the people to just deciding which political party gets to decide who's president, I think we should limit the number of electors for each state to just 3. Since that's the minimum number of congressmen assigned to each state. This way, both sides get equal power and both sides are on equal footing when the votes are tallied. I don't even get why it's necessary to have an electoral college in a country that allows its citizens to cast ballots on who they want to be their next president. You're really trusting these people to vote for who they say they're going to? Come on! Why? It's just a completely irrelevant, unnecessary middleman that takes power away from the people and gives it to the politicians before a president has even been declared. Seriously, do some reading on this and I'll post the link below. Pass this video around, share it with everybody. How can we, the people, expect to have any power when the system has been rigged against us to give us the illusion of power, but no real decisive power?